How's it going, guys? My name's Andy from Urban Herbs, and autumn is our absolute favourite time of year when it comes to eating delicious plant-based food. There's something about the nights drawing in that just makes you want to have soup and stews and gorgeous food, isn't there? Even though we're still in midsummer, our minds are now turning to our menu for autumn. You kind of get a second herb season at the end of the summer. The bedding plants that have filled the hanging baskets so well are starting to die off, and you're looking at other options to go into these hanging baskets. And in today's video, we're going to talk to you about the options that you can use to plant up some beautiful living flavour in hanging baskets that's going to take you through the autumn and into the winter. This is a fairly standard 8-inch hanging basket. And what I've actually done before planting is I've actually put some slits in the plastic just to encourage the drainage and help the drainage. And I've also worked a little bit of grit into the planting medium that I'm going to be using today. And that is literally just to help the herbs drain it away during the grey, wet, autumnal winter days. All the herbs that I'm actually showing you here are fully hardy. They don't mind the cold, but they will not enjoy sitting in water during those grey autumnal winter days. Now, this is just a suggested planting scheme. You guys are going to want to plant different things in your own hanging baskets for autumn based on your own preferences in the kitchen. At Urban Herbs, we absolutely love rosemary. We can't get enough of it, right? And I'm going to plant 2 of these trailing rosemary plants. Sure, I know a lot of the guides say you should plant in 3s, but we've got an 8-inch hanging basket and I've got so many different plants I want to show you. I'm going to put the 2 trailing rosemary plants in here, and this planter is actually going to look quite full deliberately. I tend to work on the basis of overfilling in autumn and then underfilling in the spring. I'm aiming for this to look really, really full, so it looks good through the autumn even though it's not growing particularly quickly. Come the spring, we can actually separate these out, plant them on into new planters. So far I've got the 2 trailing rosemary plants, and they're really cool because they're going to spill down the edge of the hanging basket. This hanging basket is going to be planted quite high on the wall, so we're going to want it to spill and trail down so that we can snip it as we go during the autumn and winter. So we've got the 2 trailing rosemary. They're actually plants that have been bred to have a softer stem, so they're naturally going to spill and trail and look really, really lovely. Amazing with lamb as well. The chefs that we work with say that the softer stem makes it so much more succulent and the flavour comes out so much better as well. I'm also going to plant a couple of Indian mint plants, which are really, really lovely evergreen varieties. They're going to trail down as well. You can see this one is quite established already. It's already on its way to spilling and trailing. It's actually called Indian mint, but this variety is actually in the savoury family, and it's just perfect for those autumnal and winter soups and stews. Quite a minty but peppery flavour. So I'm going to plant a couple of these Indian mint in the hanging basket as well. Something really, really important to actually know is that I'm deliberately planting in this hanging basket varieties that enjoy similar conditions to each other. So all of these varieties are going to enjoy quite free draining conditions, which is why I've added the grit and the additional drainage holes at the bottom of this hanging basket. Now this basket is looking really, really full already, and that's okay, because one of the rules that we follow is overfilling during the autumn, because things are going to be growing that bit more slowly and we want them to look full. We want them to burst with life and energy. In the middle of this hanging basket, we've got a bit of a gap for an upright variety. And one of the varieties that we use so much during autumn and winter is sage. And we base all of our planting around productivity, about what we use the most during this time of year. And we use so much sage. Now, I've actually chosen this particular variety, which is purple sage. Now, purple sage just looks fantastic as you go into the autumn, and it's going to grow upright, so it's going to create a lovely centerpiece within this hanging basket that we can occasionally take down and snip bits off to go into soup and stews during the autumn. Now this is becoming quite crowded, but it's going to look lovely and full in just a few weeks, and it's going to provide us with so much flavour during those autumnal months. Just doing this, I'm really looking forward to all the casseroles that we're going to make using this hanging basket. For any of you watching this that are beginners, that are new to gardening, it's so easy to do if you just follow what I'm doing here and substitute the varieties that I'm using for what you're going to be using in the kitchen, because that's really, really important. For those of you who are beginners, I'm just using more of the same potting medium that I used at the beginning, and that is the compost I'm using with a bit of grit, just to pack around the plants that I've put into the hanging basket, just firming them into place, making sure that all the root ball is covered nicely and the plants aren't actually going anywhere. Because this is so full, there's not much movement between the plants anyway. I've got to tell you, this is smelling absolutely amazing already, and it's going to smell even better over the coming months. This is a hanging basket that we have put together for the autumnal months. This is based entirely on our preferences, and your hanging basket for autumn is going to look completely different to ours, depending on what you enjoy cooking. It's got to work for you. If it makes you smile, then it works. We can't wait to see what your hanging basket for autumn is going to look like. Please feel free to comment and share links to your own autumnal hanging baskets that you've created, full of living, edible flavour that's going to fuel your culinary adventures in the months ahead. My name's Andy from Urban Herbs, and I really hope that you've enjoyed watching me plant up this hanging basket for autumn. This basket is full of flavours that I love, that I'm going to use so much during the autumn and winter months. Your autumnal herb hanging basket's going to look completely different to this, and that's amazing, because they should be based on what you are going to use in your cooking. I can't wait to see what autumnal hanging baskets you guys put together over the coming weeks. Make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Facebook for our daily plant-based well-being posts, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We've got loads of exciting content coming over the next few weeks, guys. Thank you so much for watching.